ladies and gentlemen, Liam Tarrant here with the Warriors Cup in partnership with Muay Thai Graham, and we're talking to Amy Duke. She's fighting at the Warriors Cup on 729 for the inaugural WBC Super Flyweight title at 115 pounds. Thanks for taking the time, Amy.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Super excited about the fight.
Yeah, it's going to be great. 729, you said in Melrose Ballroom. Now you're fighting for the first WBC Super Flyweight title. How does that feel?
Well, it's obviously quite an honor to be the first one to fight for it, and excited to have a really game opponent like Susan. We've been wanting to fight for a while and just kept missing each other with dates, so happy that it finally lined up and we're getting to fight for this amazing title for the first time.
Now, you were was Susan the one where you were supposed to fight in December, but you had to cancel the fight?
No, that was Janine. I was supposed to fight Janine, but I ended up testing positive for COVID during my weight cut, so unfortunately had to pull out.
Yikes.
Yes.
Wow, during the cut. Not optimal.
Yes, no, it was terrible.
So, 115, now this was your weight pre-COVID that you were fighting at, but then post-COVID you've been fighting a little bit heavier.
Yeah, so I started fighting up a bit so I could get more opponents. There's not very many high-level females at 115, so I started trying to go up a little bit just to get in there and get some experience.
Okay. How did you fight? Did you feel better at a higher weight, or it was 115 more natural for you?
I think 115 is my natural weight, but I don't mind fighting up. I didn't feel like weak or like people were bullying me around at all. So just being able to not cut at all, step on the scale, obviously that takes away a lot of stress.
Right, sure.
Yeah.
Got it. I mean, in New York, we've been seeing you for a long time. You've been training at the WAP with Phil Nurse for about 6 years now, and you're 11-6 is your total record?
Yes, my record's 11-6.
And then you recently also started working with Satan about 3
Yes,
years ago.
so after the qualifier, I kind of took a step back, evaluated my training, looked at my needs. I had come and trained here a few times, and I got to experience like the culture of the gym and how hardworking everybody is, and I know you guys just got to see it up there. Everybody's working really hard, and so I wanted to put myself in the best position I could. So still working out with Phil, kind of a ride or die with Phil. We've been together for a long time and really understand each other, but being able to come here, have Aziz help, Joel help, and the team really push me has been like amazing.
Yeah, we just got to watch the sparring up there, and packed room. I can see why you're so good at angling, because there's somebody every 6 inches from you. Like,
yeah.
That was impressive. I don't know how nobody fell over each other. Fantastic. I was amazed. So how did you find that transition coming here? Because it's such an experienced team here. You've got, not to mention Aziz and Joel, but the crew you've got here, Sid, Kang, Remy Singh. I mean, you've got a room full of killers to work with.
Yeah, absolutely. So obviously coming to a new gym, I was a bit nervous to like fully be myself during sparring and like get beat up a little bit. So it's been really great to be pushed outside of my comfort zone, make myself be more comfortable with the discomfort, which is something that you experience regularly in fighting.
Yeah. Was it a big change? Was it a big shift in, styles or techniques?
Just the training format here is a lot different than the rest of the gyms in New York that I've been at. Here they approach it to more like a Thai style training, so we cover every discipline within Muay Thai during the training sessions, and they last about 3.5 hours, and so it's a lot of work, but it's all just high level and really great. I'm enjoying it so much.
You mentioned you're also still working with Phil Nurse,
yeah.
And what's your training week generally look like?
So I normally meet with Phil on Mondays. I'm at Satan on Tuesday and Wednesday. Thursday I'm with Phil again. Friday I recover. Saturday I'm here, and then Sunday I normally rest. Or I go to Two Bridges where they do like open sparring, called Sunday service.
Okay.
So I normally go there and get a lot of sparring in with women, and get to really be involved in the community, which is super important to me.
Is it hard to find women at your weight to spar with and get that speed and that work with?
Yeah, there's not a lot of experienced women in New York that are at my size, but luckily there's some smaller guys here who are really fast. So I get that shift where I get to work with people who are going at the same speed as me, which is kind of difficult when people are larger. They can't go as fast as me because they may hurt me. So it's just like, I've been jumping around. Sometimes I go to Weapons 9 in New Jersey to get additional sparring. So I just kind of you know, just go wherever I can to get the work that I need.
A woman of the people, going everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah.
With as far as that goes, has it that change of routine? I mean, how did when you were going through COVID, you fought 4 times post COVID. Were you keeping up the training regimen during COVID? Was it a self-run thing? Or were you
Yeah,
with,
so I can't
Nurse?
even believe that I haven't talked about Joe yet. But my partner, Joe Miller, he's been my trainer basically since I started. He taught my first ever Muay Thai class, and I fell in love with Muay Thai and him, so it worked out very well. So I am very lucky that I have a partner who trains and fights as well. So he holds pads for me regularly. During the pandemic, we were doing training sessions in our living room or at the park. So I get a lot of work with Joe, and then obviously still meeting Phil like outdoors and stuff like that during the pandemic.
Okay. So post-pandemic, post-shutdown, I should say rather, because who knows when this thing ends? They keep telling us it's going. I don't know. I'm stop trying to keep up. But post the shutdowns, you fought 4 times. You were 1-3, but it's all against top 5 competitors in your. And you said you even went up in weights, so more power possibly with those opponents. Keeping that motivation and fighting such high-level competition. How did that feel coming out of that and then being offered this title shot for the WBC?
So like my first thought was, thank God I get to fight at 115 again. I was really happy to not be the smaller person for once. And Susan is coming up. She normally fights at 112, but decided to meet me at 115. So really thankful for that because I've had a lot of trouble finding opponents. But yeah, I mean, I was just really excited to be back at 115 again and to see what I feel like, the difference in the, you know, being the smaller fighter. I'm normally a bit faster than them, so like excited to fight somebody my size who's also very quick.
Yeah, you mentioned quick there. You got a very quick and elusive kind of style I noticed upstairs, and in previous fights we've seen you in. Did that help when you went up in weight?
Yeah, definitely, because when the girls are a little bit bigger, they're a bit heavier on their feet.
Okay.
So being able to kind of slip out of the way and catch them when they're overextending was something that I was able to capitalize on.
I saw you working with Sidney Kang upstairs. He's got a very similar type of elusiveness and then coming back and cracking them. Yeah. It was like two.
He's frustrating in a good way.
He's got to be, yeah. I mean, it's got to be frustrating, absolutely. With this in mind, is this the biggest fight of your career? Or is it just another fight, basically, your approach to it?
My approach to it is it's just another fight. You know, obviously there are nerves involved, and you know, you got to keep your head on straight with the nervousness and stuff and the pressure that comes with a big fight. But also excited to be fighting in New York. My last fight was in Denver at the World Games qualifier. I ended up placing 3rd in the country, so I'm super proud of that, and really excited to fight in New York again, fight for Warriors Cup again. I haven't fought for them since before the pandemic, so I'm really excited to get in there. And Melrose Ballroom is also a sick venue, so really excited about that as well.
It is great. I mean, if folks haven't been there, Melrose Ballroom on 729, that's a spot to be at. I got a question about Denver. You mentioned going to the World Qualifiers there. Did the altitude mess with you at all? I didn't have a chance to talk to anybody who's fought in that.
Yeah, so I actually went 3.5 weeks early to try to put myself in the best position I could. You know, when you're older in the sport and like young experience-wise, you have to take the chances that you get. So I wanted to make sure that I gave myself a fair shot when I got out there. So Joe and I got an Airbnb for a month, and we stayed out there, trained at Easton Training Center with Sean Madden, who's an incredible host. So we got to go train out there for a while. It was awesome.
Nice. Well, traveling, I mean, not just traveling to Denver, but now you're traveling all over the 5 boroughs.
Yes.
And getting working wherever you can, which is great. I mean, the different looks you must be getting with different sports.
Yeah. That's what it, you know, my approach to fighting is that there's no like right and wrong. I think everything's kind of like in a gray area. It's open to interpretation of your interpretation. It's your expression. So getting to go with different people and see the way that they move, see the ideas that they have for how to deal with certain situations is super valuable.
Nice. So overall wise, you never want to look past the fight, but are you looking at possibly going pro eventually, or what is your ambition with the sport generally?
So the reason I haven't gone pro yet is just like I'm kind of waiting for a few more things to check for me. I've been taking really hard fights that have been like pushing me to get a lot better, a lot faster. So that's been really beneficial. But I want to be a world champion. I'd really like to fight for one. I would love to fight in little gloves, which I was trying to get Chris to let me do. I definitely want to have that experience. Want to get to one. Want to fight for the world championship. Those are my overall goals.
Nice. And have you found it in your fight careers you've been going? It's like the combination of being in a weight class where there's not a lot of competitors, and having to fight people in the top 5 routinely. Has that helped form your career, your approach to things, to fighting tough competition constantly?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, every fight is a different mental stress. So when you're fighting somebody bigger than you, there's like new fears that may have not been there with somebody who's your size. And then just adjusting, you know, being able to clinch somebody who's a lot bigger than you and is probably going to be stronger than you. You have to, you know, kind of change the way that you approach things, because you may not be able to muscle something. And then, you know, knocking somebody out who's bigger than you is also going to be more of a challenge.
Yeah, that could be a problem.
Yeah.
Simple physics.
Yes.
So I'm not asking for what your strategies or anything like that, but what can the folks expect to see from the fans coming out to Melrose Ballroom and watching on BXNG TV?
So I'm really fast and evasive. Sometimes I do really crazy shit when I fight, so, you know, don't blink. I may fly up on the ropes again.
Okay, very cool. Anything else you want to throw out there to everybody?
No, just thank you to In Fight Style, Atlas Precision, who's my strength and conditioning coach, Hudson CBD, and Made Meals.
All right. Well, we're looking forward to it. Congratulations on getting the title shot.
Thank you.
We know we're going to see a great fight between you and Susan Wallace. I mean, that's when I saw that announced, I was super excited for it. I was like,
Me
this
too.
is going to be the fight to watch.
I felt the same way.
Every other fight is going to really have to work to outdo it.
Yeah.
So thanks for taking the time. I know you took time out of your training schedule for us today, but thanks
Thanks.
for sitting down and talking for a little while.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. How can folks follow you, by the way?
My Instagram is Amy_Duke, AMY_DUKE.
And if you'd like to follow the Warriors Cup on Instagram, it's at WarriorsCup_3PP. You can follow me at Liam Talks Fights, and you can follow Muay Thai Graham at Muay Thai Graham. And that should be about everything, folks. We'll see you on the 29th.